We just came over this bridge and suddenly there was just wolves. It's just unbelievable.
Ellesmere Island, in the Canadian Arctic, is a land with some of the most extreme conditions on Earth. Across the seasons, the team goes searching for the stars of the show, Arctic wolves. These incredible predators need to eat regularly, and they hunt in packs to take down their prey. The crew are here to film how they survive this extreme and changing landscape. But with Ellesmere Island being about 76,000 square miles, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. After days with no luck, the team resort to some less conventional methods.
That didn't sound like a wolf. Oh, God, it sounded like a moose. It's a pretty big foot.
They're out there somewhere. The only question is where.
Gone somewhere over there, but who knows?
Excitedly, the crew take off in the pack's direction.
We just came over this bridge and suddenly there was just all this cotton grass and then wolves. It's just unbelievable.
A very wolfish welcome.
There's one of these wolves that has a gaping hole in its ribcage. You can actually hear it gurgling and wheezing. It's a punctured lung. Unbelievable that it's still alive.
Having initially not being able to locate the wolves, now the team struggle to keep their distance from these curious predators.
They're just so confident. Almost too confident.
With the family of wolves successfully located, the crew can easily track them from here in. Filming begins and continues over the course of 8 weeks, amongst ever-changing seasons and weather. But the crew certainly aren't as well adapted to the landscape here as the wolves.
It's just insane how quickly they move across it, and they make it look effortless. And we've been struggling at every turn.
As the footage stacks up, so do the problems. From small ones
Oh my god, it's just like covered in bugs.
to big ones.
This is hell. If anyone thought wildlife filmmaking was glamorous, it's really not.
To really big ones.
The wind is going crazy. It feels like the tent is about to blow away. This is not good.
Filming throughout the seasons here is tough, no matter what time of year. As the filming continues despite a snowstorm, the crew see how the wolves sustain themselves here. This isolated bull is a large prize for the coordinated pack, and there's a surprise for the crew.
The injured one, its wound is healing. He was actually the main instigator of the hunt.
Hunting and killing the bull takes many hours, which is never easy for the crew.
I feel pretty sorry for the bull. He's not doing well. It's just the way it is out here.
We're just here to wait it out, see what happens.
After many grueling hours, the hunt enters its final stage as the bull is slowly brought down.
It's pretty heavy. It took a while. Basically, they just wore him down. It's just rough. It's hard up here. Everything's hard up here.
When the shoot comes to an end, the crew leave with high hopes that the wolves here will keep surviving in this most extreme of landscapes.
It's pretty special being able to follow these guys on their journey. It's been an unbelievable experience.
We were hoping to find wolves and get close to them, but to get this close is just absolutely incredible. It's better than I could have ever imagined.
60 million tons of snow now blanket this herd's territory. Pushing through deep snow is exhausting work, and the bison are now slowly starving. Just keeping warm saps huge amounts of energy. Their thick coats can insulate them down to minus 30 Celsius. It's now minus 40. The only thing that will keep them alive is buried beneath a meter of snow. And that's a problem shared with a surprising neighbor. The food the fox seeks is also deep beneath the snow. The survival of both creatures depends on getting through to the ground. For the bison, it will be a matter of brute strength. Massive neck muscles enable them to shovel 5 tons of snow a day. Their lightweight neighbor needs more precision. Bison have reached their goal, a mouthful of withered grass. And where the bison have dug, the fox now spots an opportunity. Every footstep counts. But he mustn't break through. Yet. He listens carefully to pinpoint his target. It's moving. A vole. Small, but 100 times more nutritious than a mouthful of dried grass. To get through the winter on these prairies, sometimes brain beats brawn. St. Andrew's Beach is one of the most crowded on the planet, and so holding a territory here is a constant battle. This bull elephant seal holds the mating rights to 60 females. For 2 months, he's guarded this stretch of beach. Unable to feed, he's losing 10 kilos a day. And he's exhausted. But other bulls are lying around, waiting their chance. blubber, 15 centimeters thick, is protection against the cold, but not from the impact of a 4-ton opponent. He holds his ground and forces the intruder back out to sea. Life in the Antarctic is harsh indeed. But all these creatures come here because the Southern Ocean is one of the richest on Earth.
As it gets colder, one animal here gets stronger. Wolves. The winter is their time. Gradually, it weakens their prey. This is the Druid wolf pack, one of the largest and most powerful in Yellowstone. The pack have this bull elk surrounded. But there's a problem. The pack won't follow the bull into the river. They won't risk freezing to death in the ice-cold water. What's more, now the elk's antlers are at just the right height to keep the wolves at bay. It's stalemate. But it's now the elk that has a problem of his own. Although it's only knee-deep, he can't stay in this freezing water forever. A young female is not prepared to let him go. But the elk is strong. One-on-one, he has the advantage. Her only support is another youngster. They are neither strong or experienced enough to bring this elk down, but it's enough to make him turn and run. Back to the river, where he knows they won't follow. But the longer he stays in the freezing water, the weaker he will get. Others before him have waited here too long. And wolves are patient. Right now, his strength is his only advantage. He has to try again. This time, even the young wolves stay put. Without the support of the pack, they never really stood a chance. And the pack have already decided that this early in the winter, a bull elk in his prime is just too strong. But as the winter gets colder and the snow gets deeper, the tables will turn.
Here on the coast of Peru, there are so many seabirds fishing in the offshore waters that the cliffs are covered in droppings over a metre thick. Humboldt penguins regard the soft guano as a good material in which to dig their nest holes. But it's a messy business. It's the breeding season, and more hopeful nesters arrive, spotless from swimming in the sea. Time for the residents to get cleaned up and catch some fish for themselves and their chicks. To get to the sea, they cross the remains of an old nesting ground. Only 100 meters to go. But the beach is already crowded with sea lions. They too have come ashore to raise their young. And they don't like being disturbed. To get through such a minefield needs a bold and courageous leader. A brave start. A dead end. Now he's in trouble. This is going to need a bit of crowd surfing. But now all the sea lions are roused. Getting through them will be tricky. A cleansing bathe in the ocean. Well worth the effort.
Reindeer traditionally pull sleighs and have a popular reputation for red, glowing noses. But behind this folklore, there is some surprising truth. an ingenious adaptation which helps them survive the extremes. Their noses are full of blood vessels. These cool warm air down as it leaves the body and warms cold air up as it comes in, keeping the reindeer's brain constantly warm and active. So, as the thermal camera proves, reindeers' noses are actually red. It's not just the nose of the reindeer which is extraordinary. How they view their winter surroundings through those large, characterful eyes is truly astonishing.
When it's bright and sunny like this, my eyes struggle to cope with the amount of UV light that's coming from the sun and is bouncing back up off the snow. If I was to spend too long here, I'd eventually damage my eyes. I could become snowblind. But reindeer, they see things differently. Not only can they see in colour like I can, they can also see in ultraviolet.
For us, it's difficult to make out detail when the landscape is so white. But with UV vision, a reindeer can see things in much greater contrast. They can see shapes and detail that we can't. The lichen on the trees which they eat, or animal urine in the snow, becomes more prominent. In such a white, snowy world, it certainly helps to have that extra insight. Reindeer even have specially designed flexible hooves. In the winter, their 4 toes can spread out wide to act like snowshoes. This means they can walk on bumpy ice without slipping. However, on smooth ice, they can sometimes find their shoes a little ill-suited.
They're setting off on the greatest overland trek made by any animal. But wherever grass-eaters travel, predators lie in wait. Here they are, Arctic wolves. They must seize their chance while the caribou pass through their territory. The wolf runs at the herd, trying to flash out the weak or the slow. A calf is separated. At full tilt, 60 kilometers an hour, the wolf is just faster. But the calf has stamina. Only a few weeks old, and this calf's will to survive is remarkable. And it needs to be, for these young caribou have now started a journey that will last a lifetime. Forever chasing the seasonal growth of the grass on which they depend. Like all grassland creatures, they are at the mercy of these unpredictable but ultimately bountiful lands. Grass can survive some of the harshest conditions on Earth: flood, fire and frost, and still flourish. So it is that grasslands provide a stage for the greatest gatherings of wildlife on planet Earth.
And it's not just that fabulous fur the fox has got. They have incredible senses, particularly their hearing. And despite having these fairly small ears, this fox will be able to detect its prey with pinpoint accuracy, even when it's hidden underneath the snow.
In the depths of the Canadian winter, a young Arctic fox is searching for food. He's still a hunting novice. It's not easy when you can't see your prey. With his acute senses, he can hear a faint sound under the snow. Lemmings. To catch one, he uses a special pouncing technique known as mousing. He has to judge its exact distance as well as the depth of snow. To help them find the right spot, foxes actually align their pounce to the Earth's magnetic field. An extraordinary skill. But mousing isn't always easy, especially for a beginner.
So many animals choose to pair up because co-parenting has some definite advantages. Especially here in the Arctic, home to the Arctic fox and one of the harshest places on Earth to try and raise a family. With temperatures as low as -50 degrees Celsius, winter has forced this devoted Arctic fox pair to part in their search for food and battle for survival. As winter's grip loosens, the snow melts, and the foxes sport their new summer coats. The fox pair are back together again, but life hasn't got any easier, as they now have extra mouths to feed. These cubs are about 4 weeks old, and their parents take it in turns to dote on them. The cubs need to be fully independent by the time winter comes round again, so this duo work flat out to share the hunting. Like all parents working on opposite shifts, they don't get to see much of each other. So snatched moments of family time are precious. But with the survival of the cubs directly linked to how much food Mum and Dad can put on the table, there's little time for relaxation. Except for the cubs. The foxes have timed their offspring's arrival with a glut of food. Other animals have babies too, and this fox mum has found a nest full of eggs. But she's possibly underestimated how fierce the snow geese can be. A single Arctic fox will take as many as 1,500 eggs during the breeding season. These parents have just 4 more months to fatten up the cubs before they have to be independent. So teaming up is the only way they can successfully raise young in the narrow window of summertime. A dual effort helps many parents face the challenge of raising their young in a short growing season, before the hardship of winter arrives.
A family of otters is making its way to a river kept open thanks to the underwater geysers. Here, they can happily fish for a much-needed dinner. However, they are not alone in this snowy landscape. They are being spied on by a clever trickster, a coyote. He's been watching and waiting as the otters dive for fish. This otter doesn't want to risk losing his dinner and plans to hide his catch under the ice. Although the coyote can't see the otter, he can hear him moving somewhere underneath him. The otter emerges but without the fish. He stashed it somewhere under the ice. But where? It's turned into a game of hide and seek, and the coyote fancies his chances. A huge trout. What a prize. In these conditions, being cunning as well as a little bit devious can be the key to survival.
In a forest in Finland, a black grouse is preparing to put on a show. It's the most important performance of his life. It will determine whether or not he gets to breed. Only one male will get the chance to mate this year, and that male will have all the females. The others will get nothing. With such high stakes, the competition is intense. The females begin to arrive, and the dance-off moves up a gear. More and more males join in. These birds can wait years for an opportunity to mate. Some will never get the chance at all. The females seem to have spotted a potential winner. It's half dance, half handbags at dawn. One last lunge is all he needs to win the bout. It's all over. The loser slips away. The best performer is the strongest male. And that's just what the females are after. His strength will be passed to their chicks, giving them the very best start in life.
One of the most successful snow animals is solitary and lives most of its life alone. They can be found in the very far north of the Arctic. The polar bear. This male, like every polar bear, is almost completely covered in fur. But his secret to staying warm in this frozen land is actually inside his large body. He has a huge layer of insulating fat, about 10 centimeters thick. It traps heat, keeping him warm from the inside. To maintain this fat, he relies on his good hunting skills. His prey is hidden under the thick ice. Luckily, he has a secret weapon to help him hunt. An extraordinary sense of smell. 100 times stronger than ours. he can detect a seal carcass from 30 kilometers away and under a meter of snow. Success. He will eat all the fat of a seal first, often leaving the actual meat. This extreme fatty diet would kill us, but for the polar bear, it's essential. Indeed, they are one of the fattest mammals on Earth. Their incredible insulation and intense sense of smell make the polar bear a master in the snow. They're also built to move around effortlessly in this snowy environment. Unlike me.
I am a perfect example of an animal that is not adapted for walking about a snowy environment like this. I'm 12 stone, 12 and a half stone, and all of my weight is distributed onto my feet. Size 12, big feet for a human, but not big enough to stop me from sinking down into the snow. What I need to do is increase that surface area, put on some snowshoes. I suppose the secret to moving around in deep snow is to do it efficiently. There we go. Adapted for walking in the snow. That is so much better. It's easy. I can walk through the forest. I'm not sinking down into my waist. I can go fast. I can almost go silently. Like I belong here.
Polar bears have built-in snowshoes. Their paws are wide, measuring about 30 centimeters across. This helps them to distribute their weight evenly on thin ice. Underneath their large paws are small, soft bumps to give them extra grip on the ice.
Seals usually give birth every year and are pregnant for up to 11 months. So making sure this pup is independent so she can have another means she's on a tight schedule. There's no time for messing about. It's straight down to business. This newborn needs to join his mother underwater at only 2 weeks old. Mum encourages him to take the plunge. The icy pool doesn't look that inviting. She has to give him a good tug. Once in, he has to learn essential survival skills, getting to know the local landscape underwater and the best routes to breathing holes. A youngster like this should be able to hold their breath for up to 19 minutes. Her pup needs to practice this. The longer he can hold his breath, the more chance he has of outrunning predators, like leopard seals and killer whales. Luckily, when it comes to learning fast, seal pups have a natural advantage. They are born with huge brains, already 70% the size of their mothers. Humans, on the other hand, are born with a brain just 25% the size of their parents. The seal pup's large brain means they can reach independence sooner. Lessons progress quickly. If you thought getting in was hard, getting out is even harder. Mum tries coaxing from above. Success. A quick well done, and it's on with the next class. One of the most important lessons is how to keep air holes from freezing over by filing them back with their teeth. Deciding where to put a new air hole is the next stage in this youngster's tuition. Finally, it's time to take a well-earned break. Supplying the pup with enough fat to keep his rapid development on track is a huge drain on his mum. Weddell seal milk is about 60% fat and amongst the most calorific of any mammal milk. No wonder her pup will double his birth weight in just 10 days. He needs to learn and bulk up fast, as he'll be fending for himself in just a matter of weeks. It's tough love, but life is tough when living in extremes such as these.
Triggered by snowfall, in the Raincoast Forest, this mother bear is leading her cubs to the safety of a den. Plump on salmon, they will survive here for the next 5 months. Meanwhile, in the Great North Woods, as the temperature plummets, wood frogs freeze solid. Antifreeze in their blood keeps them alive. These painted turtles have just hatched. But they too freeze in their nests until food comes along with the spring. The seasonal forest is in suspended animation. But not all sleeps. Small mammals and birds venture into the cold to search for food. With oily fur resistant to frost, this wolverine is looking for a meal. He may need to travel up to 30 kilometers a day to find it. This moose is roaming its territory. Weighing half a ton and standing up to 2.5 meters tall, this is the largest land mammal in North America. Its long legs are perfectly adapted to walk through deep snow. And for extra insulation, its thick fur is made of hollow hairs. Moose can survive the winter by browsing on barren twigs and bark. White-tailed deer have a much more difficult time. They are adapted to life in warm climates further south. These forests are as far north as they can survive. 1/4 the size of a moose, their small bodies feel the cold. And their short legs make walking in snow treacherous. Beneath conifer trees, the snow is shallower, and the canopy helps to keep the air a few degrees warmer. Despite this, many will succumb to the winter. And those animals that perish provide a crucial source of food for scavengers.
On the open plateau, right in the middle of this frozen volcano, is an animal that has lived here since the last ice age. Bison are exposed to the worst of the Yellowstone winter, but they are built for it. Their thick coat is such good insulation that they only need a tiny amount of energy to keep warm. So they slow their metabolism right down and concentrate on feeding. With massive neck muscles, they sweep their heads down through the snow to get to the grass beneath. But the grass has long ago put its summer goodness down into its roots, and now has about the same nutritional value as cardboard. They will need to do all they can to save energy if they are to ward off starvation until spring returns. As the winter strengthens its grip, elk move into more sheltered valleys at the edge of Yellowstone. They don't have the bison's ability to move deep snow. But this brings them into the territory of the Druid pack. As the grazers are beginning to weaken, life for the wolves is getting easier. They are now successfully hunting about twice a week. They even have the energy to play. But their play has a purpose. It fine-tunes their hunting skills and helps bond the all-important pack structure. Though there are 16 of them, They can only hunt an animal as large as an elk if they hunt as one. The strength of the pack is what will get them through the winter. Bald eagles spot carcasses from miles away. But there is strong competition for a kill like this. A coyote. He has been shadowing the wolves and moves in now they have gone.
This barren, icy landscape is Antarctica, one of the harshest places to grow up wild. Winter is only a few weeks away, and young Adelie penguins need to quickly get stronger before the storms arrive. The chicks are only 3 weeks old. Their downy coats aren't fully waterproof, so they cluster together for warmth. It's essential the young stay in creches like this, as most of the adults have gone away. They have left their offspring on land as they go out to sea fishing, sometimes for days at a time. When the parents return, serving dinner becomes a competitive business. Both these youngsters are ravenously hungry, but before they can eat, they have to catch their mother. It's a demanding test for the siblings. Just staying on 2 feet can be a challenge. The race for supper is proving too hard for one of the chicks. It just can't keep up. Sadly, there will be no food for him today. The winner's reward is some tasty fish. It may seem cruel, but with life so harsh here, parents need to know which chick is stronger and more likely to survive childhood.
On the Canadian tundra, there's another battle looming. And it's winter's ultimate heavyweight fight. Female caribou are ready to mate. It needs to be now, so their young will be born in early spring. So the massive caribou bulls must compete with each other to father the calves. The younger males watch from the sidelines as the heavyweights eye each other up. Serious fights are rare, but when they happen, they can be very dangerous. But while this old bull has been dealing with a rival, the young bucks have been trying their luck with his female. He must break off his fight and chase them away. The younger males may be lighter on their feet, but his bulk means he can muscle his way past. Another rival steps in with a challenge. But the old bull easily deals with him. As the chase slows down, he can finally impose some order. Now he's shown who's boss, a look is all that's needed. Only when he's sure he's made his point can he claim his female.
At this time of year, polar bears on average succeed only once in 20 hunts. If the hunter is skinny, like this one, that may not be often enough. All she can do is keep trying. To prevent her scent betraying her, she makes a wide sweep to get downwind of the seal. Getting close. She's now right behind the seal. Incredibly, she caught the seal underwater. It's only small, but even so, its blubber alone will contain 100,000 calories, enough to sustain this bear for a week. And in that time, she might even catch another. But this can't go on forever. As summer continues, temperatures are rising. Each hunt requires more energy, draining the bears of their reserves.
It's now February, and when almost everything else in Yellowstone is on its last legs, the Druid pack is reaching peak condition. And it's now that the young females come into season. Hanging back from the pack is a lone male wolf. He has no territory of his own, but follows the pack, scavenging from their successes. But right now, food is not his priority. The young females won't mate with the pack's alpha male, as he is their father. So the intruder could well be in with a chance, as long as the alpha doesn't see him. Whilst the pack are distracted, one female sneaks away. She won't give up the security of the pack for him, so they meet close by in secret. But the pack are now coming their way. The alpha male is onto him. He won't tolerate any other male in his territory, let alone with one of his females. When wolves mate, they become locked together for up to half an hour. The intruder can't break free. For now, the alpha male has done enough. He's seen the intruder off, and he needs to return to reassert his position in the pack. The intruder retreats to a precarious life in the shadows. But whatever happens to him, so long as he was coupled for long enough, he will have young, brought up in the security of one of the strongest packs in Yellowstone.
In Antarctica, the freeze-up has come in spectacular style. In winter, the continent doubles in size. It's now bigger than the USA. The giant lockup causes an urgent problem for one inhabitant. A Weddell seal. As the sea around her freezes, her breathing hole has begun to freeze over too. Without it, she'll suffocate. So she resorts to using her teeth to keep it open. But at least she has a retreat from the icy world above. The sea down here is a constant -2 degrees centigrade. That's over 50 degrees warmer than it is at the surface. And it's been like this for 25 million years. Beneath the layer of ice, this enchanted kingdom is protected from the extreme temperatures above. It's a wonderland of the strange and beautiful. In this safe, stable world, life explodes. But even here, winter cold can crash the party. As temperatures plummet on the surface, it triggers the growth of something sinister. This is a brinicle, supercooled water sinking from above, forming a pillar of ice. For the creatures of the seabed, it's a stealthy finger of death. A river of ice imprisons everything in its path. Even those that think they've beaten the extremes of winter can get caught out.
And this bobcat may be in luck. For this particular valley is blessed. A river here never freezes. It's fed by a volcanic hot spring that heats these waters to 50 degrees warmer than the surrounding air. Hungry animals of all kinds come here to feed. Throughout the winter, the river is full of food for those who know how to catch it. Here, even the coyotes have become fishermen. But hunting is hard for a cat that's not used to getting its feet wet. So he must choose his target with care. Golden-eye ducks. But can he get close enough to pounce? Perhaps he'll have more luck on the other side. Here, steam from the river warms the surrounding trees. So up in the branches, there could be prey. If only he could get to it. It's 6 meters up. At last, a squirrel. Not much, but enough to keep him going. To survive a winter in these mountains takes tenacity, and bobcats have that in abundance.